Hello and good evening for this Sunday, September 10th, 2023. We have just finished watching episode 17 of Big Brother 25, the week 6 HOH. Well, we already had the competition last week, but it was more about the nominations, the Humiliverse, and everything else that happened. I'm Dave Mader, joined with Jaemeel Robinson here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, where you might be listening to us on audio version. Welcome and good evening as we kick off week 6 here in Big Brother 25. Cameron is continuing his reign of terror. He's toying with these people and he's toying with these pies, and we're gonna break it all down here tonight in this episode. Jaemeel, I wasn't here for episode 16 recap. You and Jeff covering the eviction of Red, and a lot of the aftermath, I guess, is what this episode was about tonight.
Yeah, it was great.
I enjoyed it as well. Yeah. And hello, yeah, evening, gentlemen. Unbelievable episode, and yes, I'm with you on that, B Bean. Yeah, there's I think even though I don't really necessarily think I like Cameron too much, I'm finding him as an underdog kind of an interesting character in terms of the narrative of the show. How he played out this week, he's a wild card. He's a maverick. They can't control him. They don't care to. They'd rather just vote him out, but he keeps winning. And, you hear Cerie's like, you hope you don't win, Cameron. I'm coming for you. She's coming for his head the second he doesn't win.
Well, she has to win you can't make threats when you don't win.
Right. Yeah, she would have to win for this to matter. But Jared could win next or whatever, right? So I guess there's that.
We'll see. I did enjoy this episode. They did a good job of crafting a lot of the information that happened. Present Cameron's playing them, like playing this chess, while everyone's like, well, what are we gonna do? And I there's some things I did not like about this episode, and we'll get into it as we continue our recap.
Right. But in terms of, Red going out of the game, I'm fine with it because he was not the best player. He was not going to win this game.
He was
kind of
such a nothing burger.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of saying it. Nothing, so I'm kind of more interested in this, like Cameron unhinged here. And they come to here and they present to him in this episode, like Cerie, and some of the Alliance members. They're like, he came to us. He told us about the chillers. Like, it was dead to him. He was coming for your head. We had to vote him out for you, Cameron. And he's playing along and he's going with it. And he convinces everybody, yeah.
Oh my gosh. He's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm going for Jack and Blue. Don't worry. And then I love that he went up and put Izzy and Felicia here. I think it would have only been better if he had put up Cerie and Jared. I think that would have been the most hilarious thing, or even Cerie and Felicia, or Cerie and Izzy. I think would have been great. I think if Cerie had ended up there, now she could end up post veto on the block. I don't know. You might know, Jaemeel, what's going on in the spoiler land. I do not know yet. You will tell me later. But for the moment, that we can't. It's just a possibility. So, Jaemeel, Bowie Jane, I think, is also a big story in tonight's episode in terms of her reaction to being on the outside of this vote. One of the only 2 votes, and they're like, she's like, I've been lumped in with Cameron, and they're like, well, but that's good. You can be his confidant and our spy for us. And she's like, I don't want to be. And they're like, no, that's your new role.
No, even worse than that. She's like, oh, I can't believe you all didn't tell me. It's like, it's not even a betrayal. It's like, you didn't feel to include me. And then Miss Felicia's like, hey, put on your big boy pants.
Yeah, there's no crying.
Stop crying.
Oh, we're going here. It doesn't matter. Cameron is a great narrator of deceit. Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, and the Bowie conversation after they kicked him out of the room was moving. Bowie was truly hurt. Was B-Bean's comment here?
I'm sorry, B-Bean. Yes, I understand that she was hurt, but I cackled in laughter at how out of touch Miss Felicia was in terms of handling that entire situation. She did not do herself any favors at all in terms of like, oh, Bowie's gonna understand. Bowie Jane's gonna understand. No, she absolutely made it worse.
Oh, yeah.
She found the right combination of words to make Bowie Jane feel even worse about this alliance.
Yeah, I just looked at Jane when she said that. I was like, oh, that won't work. Like, that's the approach. Oh, you always say, yeah, like that's
Stop crying.
stop crying and stop being so emotional. That always makes people want to stop being emotional and listen to you, right?
Yeah.
It was quite something. I think that this Felicia, even this episode, Cerie's like, I might have to cut her. Like she's she's going big. She's trying to cut my final two out and go after Jared, and she doesn't know Jared and Cerie are mother son. Only Izzy knows.
I think it's a little okay. That section, the Miss Felicia dumping on of this episode, I think was a little bit too much. It seems like they purposely went out of the way to make her look like a moron, right? Or full of it. I'm sorry.
Her snoring and singing in the night or whatever she was doing.
I'll get to that too. But first off, with the Jared thing. Jared's dumb.
Yes.
You should, like, if someone's telling you that, hey, this other person who is going to be my number one, I want to have you as my number one instead, right? And you're already close, or you're actually number ones with the person who was their former number one, you keep that a secret, right? And try to get you three to the end because you know that other person is going to choose you over the other. And the fact, like, every time I'm amazed, like, that looks like Cerie. But anyways,
I can't see. What do you mean? Oh wow! What do you like? What they told Red on Thursday? I watched that back. I was like, oh geez. And they show because the graphic comes behind Julie when she says it too, right? It's like this big moment, and they're always like, whoa, yeah.
One thing I want to see though, that came up during Miss Felicia's bungles this episode. Who ate Red's cupcake? That's what I want to know. Did they put it back in the fridge and just leave it there? It's like, we'll give it to him on finale night.
I just hope Felicia ate it. That would be the best version of the story for me.
You just see her. She's about to go. She's like, oh, one last day. I'm taking this home with me in my belly.
Yeah, like, what are you doing, Red? Are you gonna take that cupcake with you, or you're not gonna leave that here because you'll never eat it again? You'll never be here again. What do you mean? And then Jane, or Bowie Jane, is left out of this. Okay, but this is I put a still from the episode. The point of the episode here in the Bye Bye Bitches room, where Matt is kicked out here by Felicia, which ends up causing a bit of a rift in the house, especially between him and her, but also just being like sort of left out of this conversation about the fact that Bowie Jane is not happy that she was left out of this vote, and she's been sort of she's in the minority with the house along with Cameron, who just happens to be the new HOH, right? So,
yeah. That end of episode yesterday where it was just completely dead silent and no one was really clapping, that was fantastic. I loved it. And this episode, kicking Matt out is just dumb. Like, okay, so you want to talk to Bowie Jade in private with 4 other people in the room still? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all, right? To specifically kick out Matt. Matt, who, giving his background, any person with any type of, like, emotional and societal intelligence would know, hey, the person who often feels like out of touch or separated from people, we're going to kick him out of a room to talk, right? The deaf guy. That's like, how do you not expect him to be angry? It was dumb. That was a dumb decision.
Yeah, well, I thought, and then he goes and talks with many other people, including Jag, including America, about this incident. Him being upset. He tells us as much in the diary room. He's pissed off about it, right? Rightfully
so to be pissed.
Matt is not a member of Bye Bye Bitches, so they had to kick him out.
They didn't know it. they didn't need to kick him out, right? They could have had that conversation later when Matt wasn't there, right? But they want to have that conversation right then and there. All the information they said that didn't need to exclude Matt at all.
No. Like, why would you exclude Matt? He seems like a nice guy. He's not a bye-bye bitch, but it's can't hold that against him, can you? Or can you? I don't know. I feel like Izzy, Suri, and Felicia, this has to be broken up. I'm glad that Cameron puts this up on the block tonight. I can't wait to get to the spoiler section just to know what the post-veto result is here. As I'm kind of really curious, because I think this is the twist. I think this is the turn the game needs right now. I think like Jag and Blue tonight would have been the worst possible nominations here for Cameron and for the season. I think that like him playing the house here, the fact they might vote him out next week. Who cares? He's not going to win the game either. I don't think he doesn't know that, but I think that
he would have to go on an amazing run to be able to come close.
Right. I don't think that the fact him to win over the jury, like I think would have to be such a comeback story at this point. It seems unlikely, but who knows? There's crazier things have happened. But yeah, well, that's right. With this guy, I think he's just a little bit off. His conversation with Bowie Jane, I thought was a bit cringy tonight. The way he plays like all we have is each other now, Bowie Jane. She's like, yeah, but she's like, it was almost like she was just resigned to this like horrible fate because I don't think she wants to be in this lump with Cameron. I think I
know he's excited.
How did Cameron learn to narrate with so much drama and intrigue? Did production help him? I think.
Oh yeah, they coached him through that.
Yeah, maybe. Jeff Mater coming from the Jeffries tube. Can't hear him.
He's still setting up. He just had to get involved.
Rachel
sliding to the side.
We got Rachel right live in the comments. Hello, Rachel.
Rachel, saloosh.
What did you do tonight's episode? Let us know here in the comments, everybody. And how that this twist has gone here in week 6. Barely.
Yes.
You're low.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
You're getting better. Test.
I just changed my... All right, better?
Okay. Yeah, it's better.
Yes.
Okay. I had to change my camera. What's going on?
Well, we were just talking about the fact that Cameron did put up here... Izzy and Felicia, and we liked it. Or at least I think I like it. Jaemeel, if you haven't, I don't think disagreed.
I was I cackling with laughter.
Yeah, I think that this had to be broken up here. This, especially Izzy and Felicia, they need their coming up and everything. Sari, I'll give more of a pass to because she's a veteran. But even Jared, I think all these people, I just kind of want to see at least get up here on the block. And I think that and Izzy was like, I'm fired up now. I'm coming for your head, Cameron. I'm like, whatever, Izzy. I don't care. Like, it's like I don't think Cameron cares. He knows he's not your best friend anyway. So I don't know, Jeff. Do you like the way the season's going?
I not really, but I really like that the way this week is going. If anything, I'm going to take a lot of solace in this thing. And I'm not like the biggest Cameron fan, but I'm always a fan of the person that is for sure everyone wants out and then wins HOH. I don't care who the person is. I'm always like root for that person.
Right.
And that's Cameron in this instance. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, burn it
down.
Burn down the forest, there was a ruby the size of a tangerine, and
we burned down the forest and found all the tangerines. And
some people just want to watch the world burn.
I'm only burning my half, though.
I thought he played the HOH properly though, because he up until now everybody's just big letting Sari and like he said tonight, her corporation has just been getting their way, and he just played the week okay, so what would they want? Okay, they would want Jag and Blue. Okay, I'm just gonna tell them that's what's gonna happen, and I'm just gonna see how they all react, and then it's okay, that's exactly how I expected them to react, and that's not what I'm gonna do. He already knew what he was gonna do before, so I enjoyed the way he kind of narrated the week, and then it was a suspenseful what's gonna happen. I was I think I was very thrilled with the episode of television, other than Jag and Matt playing selfies with their fucking mic packs. That was so stupid.
Yeah, I wasn't
You
a
know?
fan of that either, I
What?
gotta say.
That was a throwback to Survivor and Shane with his rock and his coconut phone.
That was better.
Sari would all know all about that.
Yeah. Remember, yeah, Shane had the diaper rash from like the bathing suit or whatever back then, or whatever his costume was. And
what a waste of time that was on the show. Like, that was so long. Like, it needed to be like 30 seconds, and it felt like it went on for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But I will state, Jeff, didn't I call that there was going to be on a special episode of Big Brother, but focused on Jag? Right? I called it.
Yep.
I called it. Now, they didn't get involved with the Special Olympics because they probably don't want to bring any more attention to it. But at the same time, I knew it was like they were just salivating. They're like, "Oh, this is the perfect time. Jag's family's getting involved online. There's a lot of eyes on it. Let's push that. Let's push the Jag moment right now."
He's probably the most different player to like ever be in the house. Like, there's never been a sick player. I don't even know if there's really ever been an Indian player. Like, I can't even think of one.
There was probably, if my recollection is right, is probably a South Asian Indian woman, maybe, probably,
but not the one that's memorable. He's very different. In Canada, like, there's already been 10 Jags. So
Brampton represents
is higher than America. It seems like,
right?
Yes.
Canada has something more than America. That's kind of
and Indians though. Like, it seems like there's not a lot of Indians that make these shows. I don't know why. I mean, I know America has a lot of Indian people. But they just don't seem to make it on these shows. Maybe they're not interested on being on TV for the most part as a demographic.
Well, clearly Jag is, so he's maybe breaking the mold. But but that's good.
So, a lot of new people in the chats. Hello, new people. Welcome. Please pull up a seat.
Yeah. Rachel had a comment here about how she didn't like how Cameron was flirting with America, or America was flirting with him after he was acting like a creep. Thumbs down on America here.
Was she flirting with him? When she was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" Is that what she's referring to?
So we're talking about America and Cameron, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, not really a spoiler, but people have made comments about how they don't like how America seems to be fine with hanging around Cameron, right? And we'll see how it goes with that, but at the same time, I just find it a little hypocritical from some of the people that are being nice to Cameron anyways because he's HOH. Everyone's being nice to the HOH, right? So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Now, if they continue to be friendly and really close to the person post HOH, right? That's an issue.
Right.
Right?
Okay, but guys, if we could just take a just to wind through, recap the episode a little bit more. Let's wind it back. Let's talk about the official stinkometer and them having to announce when they go to the bathrooms, and the Humiliverse, I guess, theme of this week, because they're all have-nots as well, and except for Cameron, he's the only non-have-not, so I guess he gets to eat separately from the rest of them. Did you guys like this twist in the season and this theme for the week, or is this sort of chuffa?
I really enjoyed the nomination ceremony, and we'll get to that. But that part was chef's
with the
kiss.
pies.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, but this whole thing with the bathrooms earlier in the episode,
The bathroom thing was stupid. It was just something to laugh about. Whatever. Like,
It could have been shorter. It could have been shorter.
The best part for me was Felicia in her sleep. Yeah, that was probably my favorite part.
Oh Lord. Okay.
That it was perfect in this episode with the Humiliverse, because like that if that's not humiliating, I don't know what is.
They were seriously dunking on this woman this episode, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, she was in the Air Force, as we're told.
Well,
yeah.
I have felt like the last 2-3 episodes, Felicia's very comfortable in the house. She's very I feel like a little bit entitled with the way she talks to certain players, and especially in the DR, and like I'm just like, you are way too comfortable, you know.
But to be fair though, she has won more than a good portion of the cast.
No, she won an HOH, and she's aligned with Suri.
I know,
But
but she's done more than Bowie Jane. She's done more than America. She's done more than
Corey.
Corey.
yes, absolutely. But she's like, the vice president. Like
She's the vice president, but you don't come for the president right away. You go for the Secretary of Defense, and then the vice president, and then you come for the president because the whole I don't know what Cameron's plan is. It doesn't really matter. But okay. Also in the episode, his conversation with Bowie Jane and her sort of I felt like she was almost like she had sold her soul to the devil here.
No. What else was she supposed to do with the line of questioning and the situation she's in? I think she did what she was supposed to do and she had to do.
Yeah, well, I suppose so.
Yeah, like, no, Cameron, I'm not with you. So do your worst. Like, what is she gonna do?
Well, I think this scene wasn't even the scene that was important. It was the scene before with Bowie Jane where she was crying and upset that she wasn't told, and then Suri and Felicia were all like, "No, you gotta go up and be our spy, and you need to get it together. You stop
crying, put on your big boy pants.
You work for us. Don't forget. We're the bosses of this house.
Why didn't they just use like an Australian accent to talk to her, just to demean her a little bit more? I thought I was really like, oh my god, like she's just gonna hate you.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. I laughed so hard.
Jared's the prime minister. In that, yeah.
Is that like when you you have a president and a prime minister like in France, and the prime minister doesn't matter at all? It's just the president matters. Is that
more like in Ireland? Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's how it works there. Okay, so there's the whole the bathrooms, the Bowie Jane thing. Okay, and then
a very special episode of.
Sorry. Before that, there was also the whole sequence with Jag and Izzy playing pool, and him talking about being, a victim of hate crimes and
I think that was primarily the focus. I think he was more talking about who he is as a person, as opposed to like, despite bad things have happened, right? The bad things were a small part of it. I would like to take that perspective from it, not like, he was a victim. It's like, that's who I am.
He also talked about like how important those things were to him as far as like his urban and like his identity, his culture, all that kind of stuff. That's all great because he is so different and he does need to explain it, because even me, as I know a little bit about Sikh culture and that kind of thing, I still don't know that much, and the average American probably knows zero, that is watching the show. So it is good for him to explain it, because like, I'm sure most people are like, what, what is this? Like, I don't know this.
I'm sad to say it. But I feel like this is a little bit, intentional, that of all the times, thank you for liking, subscribing, Rachel, greatly appreciated. I feel this is intentional because what date is today and what is tomorrow?
Oh yeah, September 10th.
Yeah, some sensitivity around the.
It's not the same culture, even.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're talking specifically about American culture, not knowing the differences between the different South Asian communities, right? So, like, well, this one's different.
Yeah. People have literally come up to him and ripped his turban off of his head.
I'm sure if you ask the average American, like, where's this guy from? And I'm sure most of them would say Afghanistan, and it would not be correct at all, so like,
yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to say that just came to mind. 60 Minutes had a whole September 11th.
True. It was on. We were delayed tonight because of 60 Minutes. I guess before.
Was it because of 60 Minutes?
Well, 60 Minutes ran late, but whatever was before 60 Minutes, like it was golf or football. I'm not really sure. Football. Okay, let's talk about the whole conversation between Felicia and Jared that we saw. out here in the backyard, and that she was like, "No, I don't want to work with Suri anymore. Suri's my final two, but actually, I want you to be my final two."
She didn't say that.
No,
She did say that.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't say that. She didn't say that explicitly. She just said,
I think it was pretty explicit.
No, I don't think so. That's in
how
his retelling.
That's how Jared retold it to Suri.
Well,
But that is not what she said. What she said was, "I'm thinking I don't want to be with Suri in the final two. I want to be with you in the final two." That doesn't mean Suri's not final three. You know what I mean?
No, but that means she's breaking her final two with Suri for Jared.
Yeah.
Which is great news for Jared.
Right.
But Jared now she's betrayed his mom, so he can't trust her.
Jared's playing Suri's game though. Like that's the problem. He has no right to say, "Oh, I'm just gonna go be my own player," and all that kind of nonsense that he was saying in the DR. I'm like, come on,
Just
like what?
Correct about the Mindy exactly but very few Sikhs in the USA.
There's very few. There's a lot up here, like around Toronto, where Jaemeel lives in Brampton. But like, so you do see them on Big Brother Canada quite a bit, and you do get to learn a little bit more about their culture because it is a kind of a fascinating culture, the Sikh culture.
Peaceful warriors.
Yeah, peaceful warriors, and
in yoga.
They get a knife they get to carry around, which is pretty awesome. They got they have to grow their hair. They can't cut it, and all these different things. Their
middle name is Tiger.
Yeah, they're a lion. A lion. Is it tiger or a lion?
I think it's Tiger.
Okay.
I don't know.
I love the confidence in saying that. You just lower your voice, Tiger.
Tiger. Maybe it's lion. I don't know. It's like it's tigers or bears. I'm not sure. Right. One of those.
Oh my. I just think when you talk about this season, it's definitely like a better cast than normal. It's not just a bunch of Instagram models. You actually do get these segments, and we have a 62-year-old woman making weird noises in her sleep. We got Jag.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this. Like, I felt bad for her, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure she isn't the first and the only person that has done that. No. Have you ever seen that happen? I've seen that happen with other people much younger, talking in their sleep, moaning, or anything like that.
Why do you think they're kind of they are? You're right. The editors are kind of sabotaging her. Why do you think that's happening?
Well, I don't think they're sabotaging her. I think that, to be honest, and this has nothing to do with spoilers or anything like that. I think that they feel that her time is coming, and all these things that they've been kind of sitting on, like the mic packs, and this has probably been going on for a while. Honestly,
right. I think she's a bit of eccentric all the time. So I think how much they show us.
Yeah, when she did that thing where
the condoms.
When at the end in the DR to Cameron, like, "I see you, Cameron," or whatever she said. I forget. It was like
it's the condoms that line. You can do it. Show the video.
Come on. I know. I think I still have it. Do I?
Yeah, you should have it.
You're looking a little guilty.
Guilty.
No. Protection.
No, I don't have the one. Do I still have this video? I don't know.
Don't tell me you removed it. I thought that was going to last the season.
Do you have that forever?
Do you have her?
I can get it back.
Do you have her intro video?
Yes. Like you mean like just her going da da da?
Yeah, the clip. Yeah.
Where is it?
It's great. I like that. Yeah.
It's a very powerful move.
Oh, some of them are longer than others.
But I do think that Jameel's onto something because of the mic packs and maybe I don't know, maybe she's not getting along. She seems like the type of lady that would like say, "No, I'm not doing that. Too bad."
I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I have limits. And
yeah. So and Big Brother, I don't think is about that. They're like, no,
keep your stipend.
We're making a TV show, so. If you don't want to play ball with us, you can go on the block, and we'll encourage Cameron to put you up, and all these kind of things that I think go on behind the scenes that we don't actually get to know.
She is not like she's not built for a lot of these comps. The comment about mental comps, how she's gonna win. How long did she last in the most recent comp? I didn't think that she lasted very long either. So.
The pressure cooker, she gave up right away.
No, she was the fourth person. Okay. Was she the fourth? Anyway, I mean, even the this or that one that was just recent. Yeah, true or false? What the Cameron one? She didn't last that long either.
Well, lots of people didn't, though. To be fair,
who is this? Corey and
yeah, Corey
McCall, who's barely on the show. You know,
remember McCall? I think I have her little bit.
I wonder honestly if they could just replace McCall with Kirsten, and how many people would actually notice.
Nobody.
I don't think. I mean, I would, because she'd be on the show. You know,
sometimes she's in the room for some conversations, but she's not really in the speaking a lot. Never really talked about as a target. Okay, and there's more in this episode to break down, but I think that she's like, there's a couple of them that I just think are getting kind of very okay. Jaemeel, I got your clip. Here it is. It's back for the whole season.
For safekeeping, whether it's the veto or some daggone condoms, everybody in the Big Brother house is looking for some protection.
Love it. I love that.
She is fun in the DR. I have to give her that. Like, you know, she's a good, like, she's at least providing something for the show.
Yes.
There are other players that get in that DR and you're like, even like Matt, I'm like, you kind of suck in the DR. You know,
she's not shouting. She's able to communicate effectively without kind of like, hey, everyone, I'm in the DR and I'm yelling because I don't know how to talk to people normally, you know, and present ideas, you know. I feel like it's a Tim Robinson sketch, right?
Yeah, she's a very different energy than Sari is, in contrast.
Well,
right?
but when you get in the DR, like you can tell like when like they're fed a line, like tonight with Matt, for instance. The reason why I said him was the line where he was like, "Oh, sometimes, you know, when you get into the BB house and you get bored and some crazy things happen," or something he said, and I was just like, "You were fed that line, you know, like you don't actually think that, you know." I don't think, you know, like that's how I don't know
how they presented the idea. Hey, Matt. This is the producer, blah, 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 talking to you. And we saw that fun thing that you were doing with Jag outside. We want to build a segment around it. So can you just kind of cue it up by like saying, this is the fun things that happen in the BB house. So when you're bored, great take. But why don't you try that again? But make sure you emphasize this point. Great job. Just do it one more time. Thank you. Oh, great.
Okay,
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Yeah, we got what we need. It's so evident.
Yeah,
evident.
When it's evident, it's really evident, and like that's what like is good about a Felicia is like she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna say what I want to say, and like, you know what I mean. And like as a viewer, I'd much rather that, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So everything leading up to Cameron actually putting up these nominees. His conversation here with Blue, for instance, on the couches was very. Not great, okay. Like for his game, I can't like he's
for his game.
Like his game, his game doesn't seem to matter because the way he handled this conversation, I didn't think was great. His conversation with Jag later on, similarly, is not great. You know,
I disagree.
Why does he want to really put up Jag and Blue? What? Why? What's the point?
He never wanted to put up Jag and Blue. He purposely did that to totally fool the house.
This is a misdirect. This is a misdirect, is what you're saying.
Yes, and the best way to do that is Blue is gonna, you know, go and blab what happened, right, to the entire house, and what they're gonna see is Blue's crying. Why? Because, you know, Cameron more or less said that he was gonna put them up. It continues the story, right?
Yeah, and it makes everyone feel like, oh, Cameron's a sucker, classic Cameron. He's an idiot, you know, which is what he was.
He's doing our dirty work.
Yeah, but 2 weeks ago he literally did do that. He thought that level 25 was a real alliance, and he was being an idiot. And I was, you know, everyone was rolling our eyes like that and watching the show because like, why are you trusting this alliance? And then like tonight we had that scene with him and Bowie J where they're like, that was stupid when we trusted that alliance. You know,
it's called Legend 25. And the alliance, and they had a meeting. This is not important, but it's a good anecdote. They had a meeting where they're like, we got to change that name. You know why they have to change that name?
No.
Because the alliance is named after Red's daughter. So you can't have the alliance name continue.
Is his daughter Legend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, it's the 25th season, and it was like a legend, as in like like a map or. Like,
No, I think it was like they explicitly said, "Hey, we might have to change the name because it's kind of awkward that the person that named it is no longer here, and it's based on their daughter."
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Like the way that I see the house right now, it's like you kind of got three factions. You got Cameron and Bowie Jane on an island by themselves, in a way. You got the corporation, which is, it seems like Cirie, Jared, Izzy, Felicia, and McCall. And then you got the leftovers, which is like Corey, America. Who am I missing? Oh, Matt, and Jag. They're all the leftovers. So like that's to me the three factions. Do you guys concur with that assessment?
But everyone is in an alliance.
Yeah, but
even though those things exist, what you just mentioned, all of those people technically are in an alliance.
Yeah, but in reality, like in a world where, let's say, Nicole wins, HOH in 2 weeks, she's not putting up anyone from like the corporation. The leftovers are getting put up. You know what I mean? Like, even if they might technically be in an alliance, but that's not a real alliance. Yeah. To me, like, it's obvious. Like, those are the factions that are going on in the house, and that's what I don't understand. Like, certain players, like, how do you not see that? Like, it's quite obvious. Like Bowie Jane tonight. Like, like she saw it, but it took she literally had to get slapped in the face for her to see it. So it was kind of like, what is? Maybe the house just plays tricks on your brain, and it's difficult to
some people are just not as good at detecting lying too. I think is just the reality of it is.
Yeah, but you don't even have to.
Or Cirie is just that good at reassuring people.
She is good,
right? And so once that's in play, a lot of the fears, like, oh well, everyone keeps on saying Cirie, but I'm good with Cirie. Cirie's good with me. Like, it can't be. I think that's I'm getting inaccurate information. All it takes is a little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
And then they're good.
Until Felicia tells you to save your cupcake.
Right. Well, that was the whole thing here. Is like, I think if he had put up Cirie here tonight, I think it might have been even more interesting, even a better.
I think what he did was better, personally. I mean, I know
take your two biggest allies down.
Yeah. Yes. I think it was smart to do what he did, because now what's going to happen is that alliance could crumble. If Cirie goes on the block, everyone knows whoever is sitting beside Cirie is going home. Whereas now, when you have Izzy and Felicia, Felicia's probably the easier boot, but that's a big.
A lot of people don't like Izzy. Izzy has not done herself any favors. And that's one thing they haven't shown. They showed, Miss Felicia kind of messing up. Izzy rubbing people the wrong way. That's been a staple in the house.
Right.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, right. And I do think that they're definitely Cirie's two closest allies, and like Jared's number 3. Like, as far as playing the game, Jared's kind of like almost like a liability to Cirie.
Yeah. She won't admit that. So
no, she doesn't have to though. She kind of does say it a bunch of times, like where it's like, Jared, what are you doing? Tonight it was all Felicia, what are you doing? But I'm sure they could do the same thing with Izzy. Izzy, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, all of Cirie's like closest allies are all kind of a mess in their own unique way, right? Like, so, but there's power in numbers too. So there are a bunch of different votes, respectively. But if you go after them, then they'll be weakened. And this is what Cameron does here. And
he could have went after, like, Cirie and Jared to me was the other the other like flex. He could have he could have done that too.
But he doesn't know
Likes
that their
Jared.
mother.
He doesn't
And he
need
likes
to.
Jared.
He likes Jared, but Jared put him up though.
Doesn't matter because they were going after Red, quote unquote. They were supposedly going after Red.
Right.
Guys, let's talk about the nomination ceremony itself and the pies. Okay, and this Humiliverse theme to continue because they're all have-nots, so they're getting just the slop. So maybe this was a welcome thing. We talked about the old days where you have to go around taking your keys out, and it was like,
I love that.
You used to be safe, right? And then it was only the people left who were the nominees, and that's kind of what this was. Then they revealed the nominees on the wall after all the pies were distributed. These seemed like they were real pies.
This is a good shot. Which pie would you have wanted smashed in your face?
I would have chosen. I don't know. Probably one of the cream pies.
The one with the strawberries on the second row.
Definitely not the like the cherry pie on the bottom shelf. That's the one.
Gosh,
you don't want.
no. That would sting.
That'd be the worst.
Who got that one? Was it Blue that got that one?
Corey got that one.
Oh, Corey got that one.
Yeah.
That's the worst one. The best one. Probably,
if there's an apple pie one, give that to Corey.
Yeah. Probably
There's no apple pie.
I don't know. It looks like it's cookies and cream on the bottom shelf, or the key lime pie wouldn't be
There's
bad.
a key lime pie, or there's a mint one. I don't know. There's a lot of different choices here, guys. This is quite the dessert show. Here, let's see.
Baked Alaska. I think that's a baked Alaska there.
Yeah, different things. Okay, and how this all kind of played out. Cameron had some fun with this sequence, I thought.
I think Cameron's really good at like having fun with the show. Like he impresses me sometimes, like when he's on the show, and like he's usually kind of funny. And I'm actually quite impressed with him as far as like a character and a villain on the show. I don't know all the other stuff background, but when I see him on the show, I find him somewhat endearing, and I feel like the show must feel that way about him too, in a way.
That raspberry pie wouldn't be bad either, I think.
I hope you like raspberries.
Yeah, that was
So you have not. You get to eat. Take a full mouth. Yeah, there you go. You would eat like I would eat it. I'm gonna have not. I'm definitely gonna eat it.
Oh yeah, whole pie. Yeah, they all get it. He got Corey with the cherry pie.
Oh man, that would have been so stuck in his eyebrows and everything. Oh, that would have been awful.
Oh, you know what? It would have been worse if it went on Jag. Because in his beard.
In the beard. I mean, Jag got off light because he didn't like. Really
he got cream pie.
Yeah, he got a like cream pie. He didn't get it like smashed in. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, just.
when Jag got the pie,
she should get an automatic nomination. She was eating the pie, and she's a have-not. That's not against the rules. Just imagine it could have been watermelon. Automatic.
Okay, Blue had to take out her eyelashes, guys, and all that.
She probably only has a certain amount.
I loved this whole sequence because it was not for like the actual sequence. I did like it because it reminded me of the keys, but it was afterward when they're all standing in like the kitchen. They're like, and it's the slow-mo music, and they're like, "What will happen next?" And it's Blue with like a whole pie face, and it was just like I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was great. I loved hearing how Cameron faked out before because the last pie he gives to America,
right?
Which
and he walked over to like Izzy or whatever his side of the
right. He walks over here to Izzy and Felicia for a second, and then he turns. He goes, and then turns. And then,
No, I love. And they were so mad that he got to put on this show, and I thought it was the best thing ever that he did get to put on this show. That was so great.
Look at that face. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh my gosh! That's what you get, though. Like
that's what you get. That's what you get.
And they're like even way more than Suri. These two players have been the most cocky, I think, as far as like their whole attitude toward the house and what's going to happen. They've just been the most obnoxious.
Yeah.
And, like just on the show and like not rootable. Not rootable at all.
And their worst enemy, Cameron, is the one doing it to them too, right? So
yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Oh, Felicia. Oh, they're not happy. Yeah, this was a bold move here. A great. Okay, and then Izzy in the diary room after. I don't know. Like I was less than impressed, I would say, with the like. Okay, she's like, I'm going to beat you, Cameron. And hey, if she does it, good on her. But
Yeah, well, you had about 3 chances to beat him already, and you chose other people to evict. This is the just desserts.
yeah,
Yep.
Hope you enjoy cream pie, but you didn't get any.
She didn't get any pie, so that probably the worst thing. They didn't get any pie here. They get nominated. They walk off here together, and they're coming for him. But Cerie's reaction was like maybe the most surprising for me because how hard she was taking it. I thought she would be a little bit more like, well, at least it's not me. But
Yeah, because
I
in
think
Survivor, she's had people on her alliance, go, and she's so used to it. She's like, I'm just.
It's not like Jared's up there either, right?
Yeah, Jared's not even up there. She's not up there. Like, I mean, as far as like, it seems like a pretty good scenario for her because she's gonna lose one of these people at some point.
Yeah.
Right. So, but hey, maybe she wants to go to the end here with them. There's the silent Nicole.
Yeah. Like all those moments, like they're all cleaning it off their face, and and if you go to the next one where they show Blue, no, at the end.
Oh,
it's right at the end. And it's like,
where is she at the end? Blue?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was right after this.
Okay,
oh, maybe I'm wrong, but it's.
Nicole.
Yeah. He was
just eating like a chocolate bar or something.
Yeah.
Corey and America look happy. Cerie looks devastated. Matt is trying to console her. Felicia is.
Well, I think Cerie
happy.
thought she put in work to, where she thought, her little manipulations were going to work this week, and they didn't. So that's hard when you're this great player and it doesn't work.
Felicia put her teeth back in after Jag was pied.
She knew it was her.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of guess at that point.
Okay, so guys, that's the end of the episode proper. So I'm really curious to get into the spoilers here and to find out what the hell is going on in this veto, because seeing what the final nominations here for this week, I think are going to have some consequences. So
I'll start off light. So I'll start off light.
Get the
hold on. I'll start off light in terms of the spoilers, and then the culmination will be who played in the veto, who won the veto, and what's going to happen.
Okay, so who played in the veto? We know that Cameron plays. Felicia.
I'm supposed to...
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, wait, I don't have the soundboard open. Hold on.
And plus, I'm going to build to it.
Okay. So you tell me when you want me to play the sound effect.
You can go ahead. Go ahead. Do it now. We'll start. Alrighty. So, spoiler alert. Important information. Corey and America share a kiss.
Well,
right?
are they on Jag and Matt level though of relationship, or is that like not?
So let's go into detail. So they make out. Corey asks America if they're a showmance now, and she says yes. Let's see. America is teaching Corey how to improve his kissing. Right? Remember, she said she's going to mold him into
so
the idea.
He's not a good kisser. Is that what you're saying?
Right?
OTP.
Oh, yeah.
What's OTP?
I think she means the OTIP.
OTEV?
No, not OTEV. Over the top. I think over the top.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay. Just clarify. Maybe we were missing what you're saying, BB. How before over the pants? Yes, that was kind of mentioned too. Yes,
the dry hump.
Yes, they do some stuff as well. America mentioned that Corey said that he wasn't going to kiss her 2 hours before, and then he ended up doing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. giving kissing lessons. Corey asks, sorry, did you miss that, Jaemeel? Well, like, yes and no. Because it's covered under they do stuff under the covers kind of thing. Right? Corey asks, when do you stop kissing? Right? And then
When?
America, when are you supposed to know when to stop kissing? Right? And then America's response is, so you've never had a mouth orgasm before?
I don't think I have. Have you just,
I love it. Oh.
With orgasm? No, I would say no. I hope not.
See, B-Bean, like it's a wonderful Twitter thread that kind of shows all the clips. It's great. I love Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, has some great BB live feed stuff. It's a great little thread there. A lot of people are asking that. I don't know. I don't think it's. It's not detailed. All right. I've never seen it mentioned. What do you think, B-Bean? So B-Bean asks, is Corey playing dumb or is he a virgin? What do you think?
Virgin.
I don't really care, but yeah.
Okay. I'm in the Twitter thread. I do believe that some people are virgins, though, because in one response, someone said, did he just lose his virginity? And I'm like, did you see anything happen? No, he didn't. So, other bits of information, because there's so many.
Okay.
Okay, let's stop beating around the bush. Everyone wants to hear what happened with the
beat
veto.
around it. Just go for it.
Just go for it. Okay, so who played in the veto? So we know that Cameron plus the nominees Felicia and Izzy. Also Jag, Jared, and Matt.
Jag, Jared, and Matt. Okay.
Yes. So pretty a murderer's row in terms
that's
of.
like a lot of good comp threats. Yeah.
Sure. So Miss Felicia, had the advantage, obviously.
She had an advantage going into this.
Of course, she's like, how dominant dominant she is as a competitor against Jared, Jag, Matt.
She might be,
She had Jared, final two alliance.
Yes.
And then she had her as the mental and Jared as the physical. So no matter what, they were winning.
Yes. Izzy selected Jag, I believe, to compete.
That's interesting. Why?
She wanted someone to win. But a lot of the hubbub for a bit was Izzy feeling that even if she did win the veto, she did not want to use it because she would be worried that they would try to backdoor Sari. Right?
Backdoor Sari.
Oh yeah.
No,
don't save yourself.
Yeah.
So the winner, who do you think won, Vito? Who do you think won out of that group?
I'm gonna go Cameron.
Cameron, one of you are correct, and it's Jared who won.
Jared won.
So Jared won, of course.
Jared, of course, that's not good for Cameron. He'd be inclined to take one of these people down. But if he does,
he's not going to do that.
Just
knee, so he can't use it.
No.
So why did he win this if he doesn't want just to keep himself safe? That's the only reason to use this.
So
get the power to keep your mom safe too, right?
Right.
That's the funny thing.
But in doing so, you have to expose that.
Not really, because you could say I'm protecting Blue.
He's also protecting Blue. That's that's also true. So
So BB mentions there's a historical context to that. Marcellus.
Marcellus.
So Marcellus is in a famous moment in Big Brother history, decides not to use the veto and gets voted out. He was on the block. Yeah, he was on the block, won the veto, decided not to use it.
He locked himself on the block.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like in Survivor when you're like, no, I'm going to give my immunity necklace to some other person. Like it happened in
different. This is worse because
it is worse. It's considered one of the dumbest moves in Big Brother history.
Right. In any of these shows, reality,
I
that's
don't
worse
know.
than
It's-
Eric giving up the immunity necklace.
It's very similar. Because how is it this? How is it worse? It's the same.
It's worse because he's one, like in Survivor. You're one of many people you can be voted for. There's only 2 nominees in Big Brother, so
But
therefore it's
he was
No,
safe.
it's worse. It's worse because sure, the if you do pull yourself off the block and your ally goes up, oh no, my ally goes home,
right.
but you don't, right? You know what I mean? Like he at least if you're in a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, right? It isn't a damned if you do, damned if you don't because you're safe. You lasted one more week. You have another chance. The other person, would you not save yourself over another person?
It's the exact same though. And Eric was through to the next week, and he chose to give his necklace to some girl we don't even remember her name. So Sari, Amanda, and Parvati could all vote him out. It made like I think they're both.
But he was in top. That was top 5, was it not?
I think it was the final 5.
Right.
So he had, yeah. So he would have been final 4 against Sari, Amanda, Parvati, and that other person.
And he could have won the next immunity.
No,
But-
the other person would have been voted out. The person he gave the necklace to would have been voted out.
So he would have faced those 4 people. I would take his
It would have
odds.
been him. It would
He
not-
has a better chance. He lives to fight another day. In
Guys,
Survivor,
This is a whole podcast debate in itself, but I just had a thought. Like, would you like it in Survivor if you couldn't win immunity back to back? If you could only it was like Big Brother, where
like Big Brother, yeah.
you can't win back to back weeks
I don't like that thinking.
because you like the idea in Survivor you can win out. Like
There's only been a few players that have really ever won out like that.
right. And in Big Brother, technically, like Cameron could win. He can't be HOH next week, but he can win veto next week again. Why not? Right. And then and then
The veto is the immunity kind of necklace, and the HOH is kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like finding an immunity idol in a way because you have all this
an
power.
extra layer, but you also have that power to decide. There's only 2 people you can vote for to eliminate instead of you can vote for anybody in the tribe, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
it's a different game, but anyway.
Okay. This was a reward / a punishment comp.
Oh, now
Right? It was a pick'em. What do they call it? New York swap or whatever? I think it was possibly
Yankee
or
swap.
Yankee swap, or it's possibly this ballerina spinneroonie thingy, because people commented that they were dizzy. So here are some of the rewards / punishments. Blue and Jared. I think Blue won a trip to. No, sorry, Jared won. I think a trip to Europe as well.
Oh, sure. How do you win both? How do you win the?
I don't know. Blue and
idol
Jared discussing where to go on a Europe trip. One of the comp rewards. So
I don't. Agree
Matt, I'll talk about Matt's last. Sari and Felicia dressed in kayak rafting gear and wearing a double kayak to move around the house in tandem. Right? Cameron and Izzy have a punishment. They're wearing piggy pajama style costumes and have to transfer a huge box of dirt from one side of the backyard to the other. Right? So, and there's a time limit. Right? So once they're done with the task, they'll get a new set of costumes. Right? They have to complete 2,000 laps within 12 hours. Right? Matt's. Matt supposedly could have won, right? But didn't want to win, so he took the other prize, which he thought was going to be to hang out with Josh Duhamel.
All right,
But
Josh
what really, yeah, but what it really was he gets to hang out with a cardboard cutout of Josh Duhamel, and he has to carry it around with him wherever he goes and take photos with it, and wear an outfit to promote the what Josh Duhamel is there to promote, the Buddy Games game show.
Buddy Games.
Yes.
Get ready.
So
Josh Jaemeel hosting.
Yes, Josh Jaemeel. Okay. Kevin wants Jared to use the veto on Felicia, so Sari would be renommed, right? But his thought process is Izzy would be voted out, and then Suri would be isolated in this case.
And so he pitches this to Jared.
Yes.
And what does Jared do?
Jared doesn't. Has ceremony hasn't happened yet.
It still hasn't happened.
Hasn't happened yet. Monday, usually Monday. Okay. Now, early in the episode, we saw that Cameron have a conversation with Jag, right? And they made a deal. And Cameron's like, I better not hear this deal from anyone, right? Otherwise, I know that we're through. Mm-hmm. So, Izzy updates Corey that Cameron made a deal with Jag. Now, you might be asking the question, how did Izzy know?
Right.
Well, Izzy found out from Jared. Jared found out from Cameron.
Oh, so
Cameron's...
so shouldn't Cameron know this?
Look, if Corey talks to Cameron and mentions this fact, what is Cameron gonna think? Cameron's gonna think Jag told him. We know that's gonna happen.
Probably.
Yeah.
And Jared also told Izzy that Cameron wants her out.
Right. Okay, but if you're Suri, if you can cut either Izzy or Felicia, wouldn't you want to?
Yes.
Right. One of these.
Yes.
They're both handfuls, right?
Maybe
Izzy. Maybe Izzy's the most advantageous to cut.
I'd want to cut out Izzy,
especially if you can get her out of the game without that knowledge about Jared going beyond them.
There's an argument to be taken out Felicia too, because Felicia is clearly closer to Suri, I think, than Izzy is. So it's Izzy's also seems like less liked in that alliance. She's kind of just there by the fact that she knows that secret. And so if you, I don't know, there's an argument to take out Felicia instead. Izzy seems the more obvious one because she's probably better at comps. But
not by much.
Not by much.
I think it makes more sense to have Izzy gone, and then next week, you get in Cameron's ear or whoever's ear and say, "Hey, if we really want Suri to be isolated, we need to get rid of Miss Felicia and then get her out." So you get 2 strikes. If you don't have the advantage, you use this situation to kind of direct them towards this obvious target that, people I think are a lot more comfortable voting her out. She lasted midway through the game. Good for her. She doesn't make jury, right?
Yeah. Well, you want to this is your last chance to remove a player from the jury too, or maybe the last 2 chances. So if you can remove those votes potentially for Suri, and Suri will probably go deep.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So what do you think Jared will do? What's your best prediction?
No, he won't do anything.
He shouldn't use the veto. No way.
No way, right?
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
It'll probably be a bye Felicia moment. Yeah, I can see it.
Bitches.
And then Cameron would be pissed off because Izzy didn't go.
You think so?
Right. Cameron would rather Izzy go, and I could see why, because Izzy basically has had nothing but contempt for Cameron from the second she met him, right? So
absolutely.
I think she's like, I'm from New York, you're not, and you're from the South, and I don't like you. It's kind of
they couldn't be more from
different worlds, but doesn't mean you have to have animosity. I don't think Cameron would necessarily want animosity
in this day and age in America. These 2 people, aren't friends. It's just the way it is.
But at the same time, I can see why, because Izzy is the type of person that would not like Cameron and make it be known that she doesn't like Cameron.
She pretty much has the entire season. We're 6 weeks in. I know very well. I've known this for a long time that she doesn't like Cameron and Red for that matter. Red's gone now, but just based on where they're from, it seems like maybe there's more to it, but I doubt it. So just seems petty. Okay,
how petty?
Anything else other than like the Corey in America are now a showman's? What's their showman's name? Corerica?
AmeriCorey.
AmeriCorey?
AmeriCorps, the new corporation that rises up once Cerie Corp is gone, Cerie Inc. is gone.
She's the president.
AmeriCorps.
The AmeriCorps. And there will be a new Secretary of Defense.
That's Bowie Jane. You've got the job.
Somehow.
Bringing them in for Australia. How you doing,
Bowie Jane's just locking herself into a Big Brother Australia appearance. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
She's locking herself in.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, guys, we'll be back Wednesday to actually talk about what the hell happens in his actual veto. We'll see Jared win it, but we'll also get to talk about what he does, which will probably be nothing. And then we'll end up with Izzy and Felicia, and we'll assume by Thursday we're probably voting out Izzy. We're saying.
Are you emotionally prepared for Wednesday?
With Jared winning one?
No, with it being 2 hours long.
2 hours?
It's 2 hours long.
Why? There's no shows? Is that why?
Well, it's the week before Survivor, right?
Survivor's not till the 27th, I thought, right? So we still have 2.5 weeks until Survivor.
Well, is it next week, 10 o'clock for Survivor on Big Brother on Sundays?
So like a week tonight, we're going to be going on at 11, you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
I don't know what's happening, guys. This is getting worse and worse.
Check your local broadcasting schedule, folks.
Check the channel, guys, because we don't even know when we'll be on. All right. Well, Wednesday, Thursday, there'll be episodes, and then week 7, we'll deal with that as it comes. What else is there to say? Here on the Super Mario Brothers podcast, we'll be looking at Survivor, the newest season in the near future, 2.5 weeks. Survivor 45 getting started, guys. That's exciting. Whole new
90-minute episodes. 90-minute episodes.
What could be better? I don't know if they need to be 90 minutes. I always kind of like the Survivor. It was just like that 1 hour a week, and then you move on. But that's okay. And then, Marvel stuff. We also part of United Federation of Podcasts, a network of channels and podcasters doing all kinds of great podcasts all the time. You can check out our website, ufpodcast.com, learn about all our channels like Hold Up, X-Rated, the Hellbound podcast, the Eamon on Track podcast, Trivial Debates, Live Long in Podcast. It's just Star Trek. So there's a lot of different categories and genres and hosts, but the different people you see here are involved, and you should definitely check it out because it supports our art. That's right. We're artists and podcasters. 2-hour episode on Wednesday. Reports B-Bean. So.
Sorry, I'll let you do it.
Coming down.
There you go.
All right. Well, on that note, guys, I think we'll have to sign off because we got a lot more content coming to us this week. We got Josh Duhamel coming.
Josh Duhamel. Las Vegas's Josh Duhamel.
I want to call him Josh Duhamel.
Mr. Fergie Ferg.
All right. Well, on that note, guys, I think we should get out of here. We'll leave you. We'll see you Wednesday. I don't know. Let's go out with Julie.
From outside the Big Brother house, I'm Julie Chen Boonvez. Love one another. Good night.